From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Daniels Roofing, licensed, bonded, insured roofing contractor. 45 years of generational expertise, offering a variety of roofing systems in the North State. Composition shingles, metal, tile, fire-safe wood shingles, and spray foam roofing systems. An energy-saving cool roof, perfect for commercial flat roofs and mobile homes. With other companies, you may get a foreman or a salesman. But with Daniels Roofing, you get Daniel. Call today for your free estimate. Daniels Roofing, 3 generations working hard to protect your home and business.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Kruger. This is your Wednesday morning weather update. And to kind of start things off, you know, with the fires and the heat, kind of a nice start I like to get things going is a beautiful picture. Now, this is a great picture courtesy of Rowdy Kelly. Sent it through the free Weather NorCal app. Now, this is out on the Eel River in Trinity County. I mean, just take a look at that. Especially if you're dealing with the heat in the valley. Wow, what a great way to kind of cool off. I'm sure it was pretty warm out there in the sun, but what a beautiful shot nonetheless, and a great place to hang out and enjoy some cooler weather, if you will. All right, so I want to remind you that you can send in those photos if you want to see it right here in the morning update, on Coffee with Kruger, on social media. All you got to do is download the free Weather NorCal app. You can download those pictures or upload those pictures, and you could possibly see them right here on the morning update. So be sure to check that out. All right, let's take a look at our weather headlines. And yeah, it's going to be another hot day. Of course, you know, when we say that, and again, we have to remind ourselves, there's a big, broad area that we cover in Northern California. So most of us will be hot. The coast, yeah, of course, that's not the case. Possible afternoon thunderstorms, but mainly now it looks like in the eastern mountains. I'm thinking Modoc County and Lassen County. Yesterday I was talking about the potential today of maybe even in Siskiyou County. Still not entirely out of the question. But it looks like most of it is pointing to the east of Siskiyou County. Cooling trend going into the weekend, but it does look like it's going to warm back up again as we go into next week. Here's a look at your neighborhood forecast for today, just kind of at a quick glance. Again, another hot day. We're not going to see temperatures drop much from yesterday, but maybe shaving off a degree or two from what we did see yesterday. And there you can see that chance for thunderstorms, mainly in Modoc County and the eastern mountains. So for today, temperatures just shy of that 110 degree mark for the north end of the valley. Otherwise, 105 to 110 is what we're looking at here for the valley. Mainly 90s for the higher elevations. Should steer clear of those triple digits with the exception of Trinity County. And then there you can see those mid 60s along the coast. So as I mentioned, there is that cooling trend, and it's going to be a significant one too. I mean, even Redding dropping down into the low 90s by the time we do get into your Saturday, Sunday. But then those temperatures start to increase again. But look at that. We're staying below 100 degrees here starting Friday and staying below 100 degrees even into early next week. Taking a look at your 7-8 outlook for the coast, and there you can see those temperatures are generally in the low to mid 60s, but also the cooling trend elsewhere. Inland for Weaverville and Trinity County, also for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and the eastern mountains. Now, once again, take note where the chance for thunderstorms are today. It's mainly going to be in Modoc County and the eastern mountains. I've taken it out for now for your Wednesday. We're going to take a look at some of the latest forecast models for the day and see if I need to update that or not. So stay tuned. If you know, you can watch Coffee with Kruger. Some more recent data, or some more recent data will come in at that point. And of course, the afternoon update will have the latest on that as well. So for now, though, this morning, I'm just not anticipating a lot of thunderstorm activity in general. And we'll take a look at that here real quickly here in the longer range forecast. All right, so that kind of gets you out the door. Just kind of a quick glance at the forecast. You can head out now and really go with confidence knowing that you can expect for the day today. But now let's get into a more detailed forecast. And we're going to be taking a look at starting with the fires. Of course, that's kind of a big headline. That's what's going on. So I want to start with the Shelley fire. Of course, that's the one that's been going on for quite a while. We're seeing very good containment. Keep in mind, and again, I have to disclaim this, when we're watching this and when I'm recording this, do take note that the information that you're looking at here is from last night. A lot of the information as I'm recording this, there's no new or recent data coming in, so this is the best we can do at this point. A lot of times with Coffee with Kruger starting at 7 a.m., we have more recent data if you want more data on that. You can also go to the website, weathernorcal.com, click on the fire section, and then you can go to watch duty where you can get the more recent information from that as well. But most of the containment that we're seeing here is on the north and east, even parts of the south side of the fire, which means the communities in Scott Valley are protected. And we're not going to see much, if any, growth on that east side of the fire. Now, we take a look at the hill fire. This has been growing over the last couple of days. We're at 10% containment. There you can see some of the distances that we're seeing. But again, keep in mind that most likely overnight, this fire may have grown in acreage. But as of last night, 6,425 acres. And of course, the new complex here that we have, the Mill Fire and the Smith Fires. Still quite small. The Smith Fire is only about 48 acres. Then, of course, you've got the Mill Fire at approximately 2,300 acres, both at 0% containment. Now, these are fairly recent fires. There has been a lot of activity throughout the day yesterday, and that fire, especially the Mill Fire, has grown over the last 24 hours. Again, keep in mind, most likely overnight, these numbers that you see here for the acreage may be a little bit higher. So, with that said, taking a look at the fire perimeters, we take a look at the Mill Fire. The north end of it is about 4.8 miles from Portola. The Smith Fire is about 2.4 miles from Portola, and the Mill Fire is approximately 25.3 miles from Quincy. Again, just kind of give you some basic perspective on where you are and what we're dealing with that fire. All right, I want to show you here real quickly here again, just some of the most recent activity we've seen coming out of the fire. Let's take a look. Number one, of course, you can kind of see where we are seeing evacuations. So there are evacuation orders and there are evacuation warnings for the Shelley Fire, the Hill Fire, and the Smith Fire. And again, I encourage you to know where your zone is or where any family or friends are, because that will give you a much more detailed look. Now, I could go into it and spend 10 minutes showing where all the evacuations are, but again, it's a lot easier for you to just go in to really watch duty. Watch duty will tell you where all of them are, and it will take you down to street level so you can get an idea where that is as well. But it's important for you to know your zone in general. But there you can see the three main fires. You got the Pencil Fire up in Modoc County at about 500 acres. I haven't really seen much growth on that one over the last 24 hours. Now, another thing I want to show you is this. What we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and refresh this, and we'll see the loop of this. Now, what we're seeing here, if you look at the bottom right corner of your screen, what you're seeing is before sunset, so through the day, you can see all of the activity coming in from the Mill Fire south of Portola in Plumas County. There, again, you can see how active the fire was. But now, as we look at the most recent and going overnight, the fire has settled down. We're not seeing any of those heat signatures coming out of any of the fires. So it's good to see that, yeah, overnight, most likely the firefighters have been able to kind of get a good handle on the fire. But again, there's still a long way to go due to the fact that we are still at 0% containment on both the Smith and the Mill fires. Let's take a look at that smoke forecast. And, some of you have been kind of asking questions about the smoke and the haze. Here's the thing. We've got fires kind of surrounding us. You've got the fires off to the west, fires to the north, and even down to the south and east. So depending on the direction and the flow of the winds, and really in particular those winds just above the surface, that is going to determine as to whether or not you see haze or smoke. So just don't be surprised if different parts of the day, over the next few days, you see a little bit of haze, you see a little bit of smoke. But there's just been a lot of smoke that's been generated over the last few days, and some of it kind of just lingers around and kind of hovers in the area. So that's what's kind of giving us some of those hazy skies that some of you may have been asking about. The red flag warning for today for Modoc County. This will take effect at 11 a.m. until 11 p.m., mainly due to the fact that there is the potential for dry lightning with the thunderstorms that we could see. You'll also notice that there's a fire weather watch, but that won't take effect until tomorrow, and that's mainly due to the dry and windy conditions. Quite honestly, that fire weather watch may extend more to the west and eventually turning into a red flag warning. Now again, it's because of the winds, and this is something I've been talking about the last few days. The winds are picking up. We're going to notice it in the valley. You're going to notice it especially in the eastern mountains as well. And really, even though the wind's not quite as strong on Thursday, it's still going to elevate that fire danger, and that'll probably extend on into Friday as well. Now, the humidity levels, again, we've been typically seeing slightly higher humidity levels where those fires are in western Siskiyou County and in Trinity County and eastern Humboldt County as well. But as we go through the afternoon, you can see down there in Plumas County, still even not bad there as well at about 28, close to 30%. Now again, the higher these numbers are, the relative humidity, the better, because that means it's going to be easier for the firefighters to get a handle on these fires. See, if it's really dry out there, the fuels that respond to that immediately. So when you're talking about single digits and teens in the relative humidity level, that is going to basically give the fire plenty of fuel to burn and burn quickly. We go into your Thursday and you can see it's still very dry in the valley, and it does look like it dries out a little bit more. And again, this is why we've got that elevated fire danger over the next couple of days, dry and windy. So you can see today is kind of in that extreme range for the north end of the valley in particular here with that high fire danger, and the typical spots in central Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and Lassen County as well in that moderate to high range, and mainly within that low to moderate range for western Siskiyou County and Trinity County. You can see the fire danger does drop a little bit in the valley, and the reason being, even though the winds are strong, and we still need to be aware of that, the winds will be slightly weaker, which is the reason why we're not seeing as much red on the map here as a result. So with that all being said, taking a look at the fire potential, you can see the areas of orange, that's the wind. You see the areas of red, that's the potential for lightning. Now you'll notice it extends westward into Siskiyou County. Again, this is something I touched on yesterday. The potential for thunderstorms in Siskiyou County, especially central and eastern Siskiyou County for today. I'm taking that out of the forecast this morning. This is one of those things I'm going to monitor the latest forecast model data because it's backed off this morning on that potential for thunderstorms in Siskiyou County. So we'll see. But I think the best potential for lightning strikes today will be in Modoc County and in Lassen County. So that's something we've got to watch here. Now, as we go into your Thursday, the lightning is not a concern. The monsoon moisture is moving out. With the monsoon moisture moving out, though, the good is no more thunderstorms. The bad is no more moisture. Now the humidity levels will start to drop again, and that's going to make things a little bit more in that higher fire danger. Friday, the wind's kind of shifting more to the east of the valley, but you get the idea. The winds may linger on into Friday, keeping that fire danger elevated. So there's all that monsoon moisture over Nevada. Some of that will be making its way westward into Northern California. That's why we get that potential for some of those thunderstorms, as I mentioned. So let's take a look at Futurecast. See what's going on? Most of it's off to the east. This is 3 p.m. today. The thunderstorms are actually in Nevada, and it's Futurecast not even showing anything for Modoc County, Lassen County. And so this is why I've kind of pulled back a bit on the potential for Siskiyou County, because we may even be hard-pressed to see thunderstorms in Modoc and Lassen County. Good for the fact that we don't want to see the lightning strikes. Bad for the fact that the rain certainly would be nice, and the added humidity as well. Now, as we go into Thursday, you can see some of that fog along the coast. Some of that may burn off in the afternoon. And there you can see those clouds kind of coming in to Lassen County through the day on Thursday. That's some of the leftover monsoon moisture in place, keeping the humidity levels a little bit higher. But again, I do not anticipate any more thunderstorms for your Thursday. Wide range, kind of looking into this weekend and next week. It looks like that monsoon moisture is staying to our east. No more thunderstorms in the forecast, but it does look like we'll see the return of some of that marine layer along the coast, giving you probably some fog off and on. Now there is going to be, you can kind of see some rain pushing to our north in Washington and Oregon early next week. Looks like that should stay to our north, but that's the cooler weather that we have in store for us. And again, I don't want to say cool because it'd just be cooler. But we still have that heat advisory through this evening for the valley and the surrounding foothills. That's just because that bubble of heat still basically very close to us. But as that area of low pressure moves over Canada and the Pacific Northwest, it's going to drag and push that heat to our east. That dome of high pressure shrinks. When that dome of high pressure shrinks, what happens? The temperatures drop. And that's essentially what we've got going on into Friday. Not to mention this weekend should be even cooler. I think the peak of the cooling trend will be Saturday and Sunday. But you see that area of high pressure over the desert Southwest? That is going to slowly but surely expand north and westward closer to us for next week. So I do expect a gradual warming trend through next week as well. So you can kind of see that roller coaster ride as temperatures do dip. I mean, we're talking low 90s, folks, over the weekend. This is gorgeous. This is awesome, right? And then temperatures do start to see how they're gradually but slowly increasing, eventually back into the triple digits for the valley by the middle and latter part of next week. All right, let's take a look at your wave heights. Those wave heights are actually dropping a bit, so the small craft advisories have been allowed to basically expire. Now, there looks like a elevated wave heights as we do go into your Thursday, but nothing to be too terribly alarmed about. Those winds from the north at 10 to 15 knots. Notice I've included in there a chance for showers and thunderstorms. I got to tell you, those chances are very slim, and I wouldn't really be too concerned about that. Here's a look at Trinity County for today. Temperature is still fairly hot, but we are seeing that drop in those temperatures by Thursday and not to mention through the weekend. Taking a look at the north coast. The coast, of course, keeping those temperatures in the low to mid 60s, but inland, yes, it's still going to be fairly hot. But for the most part, I think we're going to be just below 100 degrees. Willow Creek maybe right around 100, 95 in Orleans, 73 for Smith River, and McKinleyville about 67. Now for Siskiyou County, yeah, another hot day. Happy Camp. Typical spots, western Siskiyou County, some of those hotter locations, about 100 degrees for Hornbrook and Wairika, but much cooler for places like Tennant with a high of about 90 degrees. And Modoc County neighborhood forecast, those temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. There's that slight chance for a few scattered showers and thunderstorms here through this afternoon. That's also the case, especially for central and eastern Lassen County. As you head into places like Shingletown, Bernie, Viola, Paradise, of course, I don't anticipate to see any thunderstorms there. Let's take a look at your valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Yeah, those temperatures over 100 degrees, but we are going to shave off a degree or two from what we saw yesterday. We're dropping below 100 degrees by Friday in the valley and keeping that way at least into early next week. Your 7-day forecast for Redding, 109 degrees today, 104 on Thursday. See the gradual drop. We're down to 99 on Friday, 92 degrees on Sunday, but then those temperatures will gradually increase as we go into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Well, that is going to do it for your forecast for this morning. Be sure to check in again on Coffee with Kruger at 7 a.m. live right here on Weather NorCal. I'll also have the afternoon update for you coming in around noon, and then of course that evening update, all of course with all of the latest forecast model data. Have yourselves a great day, and we will see you in just a few hours live on Coffee with Kruger at 7 a.m.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.